Welcome to our deep dive. You ready to explore ancient art?
All right, let's do it.
It's one of those topics that can seem kind of overwhelming at first, right?
Uh,
You know, all those ancient civilizations and empires and all that stuff.
yeah.
But believe me, once we start digging in, you'll see it's actually super vibrant and really fascinating.
It really is. And you know what's so captivating to me about ancient art is that it's not just about, the aesthetics.
Right.
It's a window into how people lived thousands of years ago, their
Yeah.
beliefs,
Yeah.
their values,
Exactly. Yeah.
their daily lives.
Yeah. And for this deep dive, we've got these presentation slides.
Okay.
Looks like they're probably from an art history class.
Yeah.
And at first glance, they look pretty simple,
Mm-hmm.
but they're actually packed with some really insightful points
I agree.
about not just, what ancient art is, but also like its lasting influence even on modern art.
It's remarkable how much we can learn from these ancient cultures just by looking at their art. It's like they left us a message across time encoded in their paintings,
Yeah.
sculptures, and architecture.
It's true. Okay, so before we get lost in the labyrinth of our history,
Yep.
let's just start with the basics. Like, what is art?
Right.
What is art according to our source material here?
Well, it's not as straightforward as you might think.
Okay.
It's not just pretty pictures, you know?
Right.
The source defines it as all these diverse human activities that are driven by creative imagination and really honed technical skills.
Okay, so skill, imagination. What's the point of it all?
Right.
Why did they even bother, creating art in the first place?
That's the interesting part. It wasn't just about creating something beautiful to look at.
Right.
It was about expressing ideas,
Mm.
beliefs,
Mm.
values.
Mhm.
It was a way for people to connect with their culture, their history, and even something bigger than themselves.
So it was really about communication,
Absolutely.
about leaving their mark on the world. It's
Yeah.
like they were trying to tell us their stories,
Yeah.
share their experiences and hopes and fears, even.
Exactly. And one of the most amazing things about art is its ability to evoke emotions in us,
Yeah.
to make us feel something. Have you ever stood in awe of a sculpture
Oh, yeah.
or been moved by a painting?
Absolutely. I remember when I first saw Michelangelo's David.
Yeah.
I mean, just this wave of emotions washed over me.
Wow.
Oh, wonder, maybe even a little intimidation.
Totally.
Huh?
And that's what we're talking about here. Even ancient art can still evoke those same visceral reactions in us today.
It's true.
It's really a testament to the power of art to connect with us on a human level.
Okay, so we've got skill, imagination, expression, emotional impact.
Right.
Got it. Now, our source mentions all these key periods in ancient art,
Yeah.
each with its own, unique flavor and significance.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into those in more detail later.
Yeah.
But for now, can you just give us a little sneak peek? Like, what kind of periods are we talking about here?
Well, think about the Egyptians with their monumental pyramids and those intricate hieroglyphics,
Yeah.
telling stories of powerful pharaohs and their journey into the afterlife.
I've always been fascinated by those hieroglyphs. It's like they're trying to tell us a secret,
Right.
a message encoded in those ancient symbols.
Absolutely.
And the amount of detail they packed into those carvings, even on such a massive scale, is incredible.
And then we have the Greeks with their perfectly proportioned sculptures and dramatic tales of gods and heroes,
Right.
exploring themes of beauty, heroism, and the human condition.
Ah, the Greeks.
Yeah.
It's amazing how they managed to capture such lifelike expressions in marble. You
Mm.
can almost feel the emotion radiating from those statues even thousands of years later.
It's incredible. Each period reveals so much about the culture that created it.
Yeah.
It's like stepping back in time and getting a glimpse into their world, their beliefs, their fears, their dreams.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. But before we journey through those specific periods, let's touch on this idea of art as an experience.
Okay.
Something that goes beyond just, looking at pretty pictures.
Our source really emphasizes that art can stimulate our senses,
Yeah.
our thoughts and emotions on this deeper level.
Okay.
It's not just about passive observation. It's about engagement, interpretation,
Mhm.
and even self-discovery.
So it's not just about what the artist was trying to convey,
Right.
also about what we, the viewers, bring to the experience, our own interpretations, our own emotional responses.
It's like a dialogue across time and cultures.
Okay.
The artist speaks through their work, and we, the viewers, we respond with our own thoughts and feelings, and that's what makes art so powerful and enduring.
I like that. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Our source highlights how elements of ancient art can actually be seen in works from even the most modern artists.
It's all about recognizing those connections.
Right.
Those threads that weave through time. Artistic movements
Mhm.
are often a response to or a reinterpretation of what came before. It's
Yeah.
like a continuous conversation across the ages.
So it's not just about learning about ancient art for its own sake. It's about understanding how it shaped the art we see today,
Exact.
how those ancient influences still resonate in modern time.
Precisely, you might not even realize it, but those echoes of ancient art are all around us.
That's a cool thought.
We'll explore some specific examples later, and you'll be surprised how these ancient influences show up in modern art.
All right, before we jump into those specific periods and examples,
Yeah.
let's touch on one more thing, the materials used in ancient art.
Okay.
The source hints at the sheer diversity of mediums that these artists employed.
Well, the materials available to them were often dictated by their environment,
Right?
the resources they had.
Interesting.
Like, imagine the Egyptians with their abundance of stone,
Yeah.
creating those massive pyramids and temples,
Yeah.
or the Greeks mastering bronze casting to create their lifelike statues.
I mean, from massive stone sculptures to delicate pottery, the variety of materials is astonishing.
It is.
And each one of those materials kind of tells a story, right? I mean, the choice of material itself is like a powerful form of expression.
Think about the permanence of stone,
Yeah.
the malleability of clay,
Right.
the vibrancy of pigments derived from natural sources.
Yeah.
Each material brought its own unique character to ancient art, shaping not just the form, but also the message.
And we can't forget about the craftsmanship involved.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine carving those intricate details in stone or firing those delicate ceramic vessels
Right.
without some serious skill and ingenuity.
They were true masters of their craft, pushing the boundaries of what was possible with the materials at hand.
Yeah, it's a testament to human creativity,
It is.
our enduring fascination with transforming the world around us.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got the definition of art, the idea of art as an experience,
Right.
a hint of how ancient art influenced modern art,
Mhm.
and this diverse range of materials that were used.
Yeah.
That's a lot to unpack.
It is.
But I'm already starting to see how understanding ancient art is about way more than just memorizing facts and dates.
It's about understanding ourselves, our shared human history,
Mhm.
and the power of art to connect us across time and culture.
I like that. And with that in mind, are you ready to embark on our journey through these key periods of ancient art?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
All right, I'm ready to be transported back in time and explore the fascinating world of ancient art. Let's do it.
Let's go. Okay, let's start our journey with a trip to ancient Egypt.
Oh, I like it.
Imagine towering pyramids,
Yeah.
elaborate tombs filled with hieroglyphics,
Right.
and a whole culture deeply intertwined with this idea of the afterlife.
I have to admit, the sheer scale of Egyptian art just always blows me away.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Those pyramids weren't just tombs. They were like these massive statements of power and a belief in, life after death.
Exactly. And that belief in eternal life, it really permeated every aspect of their art.
Yeah.
For them, art wasn't just decoration.
Right.
It had this very specific purpose.
Huh.
It was meant to guide the deceased on their journey to the afterlife.
So all those intricate paintings and sculptures, yes, they weren't just for show. Right. They were essential elements in ensuring a successful transition to the next life. Exactly. I remember reading somewhere about how they believed that their spirit could actually inhabit those images.
You're exactly right. And the way they depicted figures, with those rigid poses
Yeah.
and a profile views,
Right.
that wasn't just an artistic style. It was a deliberate attempt to capture the essence of a person, their eternal spirit, in a way that defied time and mortality.
So they were basically trying to create a visual representation of a person's soul.
Yes.
And speaking of representations, Egyptian art also gives us this really detailed glimpse into their daily lives.
Absolutely.
We see scenes of farming, hunting, even banquets, all depicted with incredible detail.
It's amazing they weren't just focused on the afterlife. They were also keen to document their earthly existence.
Right.
We see musicians, dancers, craftsmen all captured in these everyday moments.
Yeah.
It's like this visual time capsule preserving life from thousands of years ago.
Makes you wonder what those ancient Egyptians would think if they could see how we view their art today. In
Yeah.
museums and books all over the world.
I know, it's incredible.
It's like their lives and beliefs are still echoing through these objects.
Now, are you ready to fast forward a few centuries and hop over to ancient Greece?
Oh, absolutely. Bring on the marble statues and the tales of gods and monsters.
Okay.
I'm ready to dive into the world of the Greeks.
Get ready to be amazed. Greek art is renowned for its focus on humanism and idealism.
Okay.
They were obsessed with capturing the ideal form, the perfect representation of the human body.
Yeah.
And they actually developed this complex system of proportions known as the canon to achieve this goal.
That explains why their sculptures often look so balanced and harmonious. It's
Right.
like they were trying to achieve the sense of perfection in their art to reflect this ideal beauty that they saw in the human form.
And let's not forget their mastery of bronze casting.
Oh, yeah.
They were able to create incredibly lifelike sculptures full of movement and expression, capturing everything from the rippling muscles of athletes to the flowing drapery of goddesses.
You know, when you look at those Greek sculptures, you can almost feel the energy,
I know.
the vitality just radiating from them.
Yeah.
It's like they're about to step off their pedestals and walk right into our world.
And their art wasn't just about physical perfection.
Oh,
It was also about storytelling.
right.
They used sculptures and paintings to depict these epic tales of gods and heroes,
Yeah.
battles and triumphs,
Mm.
exploring these really profound themes of love loss and the human condition.
The myths and legends of the Greeks have captivated people for centuries.
They have.
And seeing those stories come to life in their art just adds another layer of depth and meaning.
It does.
It's like those sculptures and paintings aren't just objects,
Right.
they're vessels for these timeless tales.
Exactly. They were masters at weaving together visual beauty and profound storytelling, and that combination has resonated with viewers for millennia.
So we've got the Egyptians with their focus on the afterlife.
Yeah.
The Greeks with their pursuit of perfection and epic storytelling. What other ancient civilizations kind of made their mark on the art world?
Well, the Romans were next on the scene,
Okay.
and they left this legacy of incredible architecture and engineering.
Yeah.
Think about structures like the Colosseum and the Pantheon.
Oh, wow.
They were masters of concrete and arches, creating these structures that have stood the test of time.
It's amazing to think that those buildings are still standing today, nearly 2,000 years later.
It really is.
It's a testament to their skill and ingenuity. They definitely weren't afraid to think big.
And while their architecture is undeniably impressive,
Yeah.
the Romans also excelled at portraiture.
Okay.
They were fascinated with capturing the likenesses of their emperors and prominent citizens.
Right.
And they created these incredibly realistic and detailed sculptures.
It's interesting how Roman portraits often show, like, wrinkles and imperfections.
Yeah,
Even signs of aging.
it's true.
It's not like they were just trying to create idealized versions of people. It seems like they embraced the realities of human experience, even in their depictions of power.
Exactly. They were able to capture these individual personalities and convey a real sense of character in their sculptures. They weren't just idealized representations. They were glimpses into the lives and personalities of real people.
So we've got the Egyptians with their focus on the afterlife, the Greeks with their pursuit of perfection and epic storytelling,
Right.
and the Romans with their architectural prowess and their penchant for realism and portraiture.
Yes.
It's amazing to see how each civilization brought its own unique perspective and style to the world of art.
It is. And as we move forward, we'll see how those threads of influence from these ancient civilizations continue to weave their way through history,
Okay.
inspiring artists for centuries to come.
Okay, I'm ready to see how those ancient influences shaped the art that came after.
Let's do it.
How did those artistic traditions from Egypt, Greece, and Rome make their way into later periods?
All right, let's delve into that story and trace the impact of these ancient cultures on the art movements that followed.
Okay.
Get ready to see those echoes of the past in some unexpected places.
Okay, so I'm ready to explore this whole world of materials that ancient artists use.
Yeah.
Our source mentions a whole range of mediums.
Right.
And I'm curious, like, how did those choices really affect the final pieces?
You know, it's so easy to forget that ancient artists didn't have a, quick trip to the art supply store.
Right.
Their materials were really determined by what was readily available to them in their environment.
Yeah, like the Egyptians, for example.
Exactly.
I mean, they had access to this abundance of stone.
Right. Granite, basalt, limestone.
It's no wonder that their monuments and sculptures are so massive and enduring.
Absolutely. Stone was really the perfect medium for conveying a sense of permanence and power.
Right.
Qualities that aligned perfectly with their beliefs about pharaohs and the afterlife. It's like they were carving their civilization into the very fabric of time.
Yeah, those pyramids and temples definitely make a statement.
They do.
But working with stone must have been so challenging.
It was.
I mean, I can't even imagine carving those intricate details without some serious skill and specialized tools.
It required immense craftsmanship, patience, and precision.
Yeah.
But despite the hardness of the material, they were able to imbue their stone creations with this surprising sense of life and emotion.
It's true.
Think about the delicate curves of a sculpted face, or the way light plays on a polished surface.
Right.
They were able to transform cold, hard stone into something almost ethereal.
It's like they breathed life into the stone, capturing the sense of the eternal within the seemingly unyielding material.
Now let's shift gears and consider a completely different medium, clay.
Okay.
Unlike stone, clay is incredibly malleable,
Right.
offering this whole world of possibilities for shaping and molding.
Pottery.
Yes.
From those, simple storage jars to those incredibly elaborate ceremonial vessels.
Right.
The variety of shapes and styles is just incredible.
It is.
And those intricate designs, the scenes from mythology, glimpses of everyday life. It's like
Yeah.
holding history in your hands.
It's amazing to think that something as commonplace as clay could be transformed into objects of both beauty and functionality.
Mm-hmm.
And just like stone, the choice of clay as a medium speaks volumes about the culture.
Yeah.
It reflects their connection to the earth and their mastery of transforming natural materials into works of art.
Okay, and we can't forget about color.
Oh, yes.
The source mentions pigments derived from all these natural sources, minerals, plants, even insects.
It's hard to believe that those vibrant colors we see in ancient frescoes and paintings came from such humble origins.
There really is.
They were true alchemists of color, experimenting with different combinations and techniques to achieve these really striking hues.
Yeah.
Imagine grinding minerals into powder, extracting dyes from plants,
Wow.
and even using crushed insects to create those vibrant palettes.
It's a testament to their resourcefulness and ingenuity. Finding ways to express themselves through color just using what nature provided.
Absolutely.
It really adds another layer of appreciation for their artistry.
It's not just about the materials themselves,
Right.
but also the techniques involved in shaping and manipulating them.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the skill required to carve stone mold clay or apply pigments with such precision.
Yeah.
Each step in the process is a testament to human creativity and our desire to leave a lasting mark on the world.
Looking back at all these ancient civilizations, I'm struck by their drive to express themselves through art. It seems like they were constantly pushing the boundaries of what was possible.
Yeah.
Experimenting with different materials and techniques to achieve something truly unique and expressive.
And that's what makes this deep dive into ancient art so rewarding.
Right.
It's not just about passive admiration of beautiful objects. It's about understanding the context, the materials, the techniques, the stories behind those works.
Yeah.
It's about appreciating the human creativity and ingenuity that went into their creation, connecting us to those who came before us.
At the beginning of this deep dive, I thought we were just going to skim the surface of ancient art, but we've really gone deep.
We have.
We've explored everything from its definition and purpose to its impact on modern art. And along the way, we've uncovered this whole world of materials, techniques, and stories that really bring those ancient civilizations to life.
It's been an incredible journey through time, hasn't it?
It has.
And I think it's clear that ancient art wasn't just about aesthetics.
Right.
It was this powerful form of communication, a way to express beliefs, values, and stories that transcended time.
Yeah.
It was a way to connect with something larger than oneself, a legacy that continues to inspire us today.
Absolutely. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener.
Good.
I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for the art that came before us, and I'm starting to see those echoes of ancient art everywhere I look.
That's great. And as we wrap up our exploration, I'm left with a question posed by our source material. One we haven't explicitly addressed yet.
Right.
They mentioned that art can foster cultural understanding and awareness.
Yeah.
So how do you think exploring ancient art can help us understand ourselves and the world we live in today?
It's such a thought-provoking question. It's like those ancient artists left us a map not just to their world, but to our own. By delving into their art, we gain a deeper understanding of our shared human history, the values that have endured across millennia, and the creative spirit that unites us all.
Perhaps by studying their art, we can glean insights into our own cultural biases, assumptions, and ways of seeing the world.
Right.
It's like holding a mirror up to ourselves, reflecting not just the past, but also the present.
That's a powerful thought. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder that question.
Okay.
We encourage you to continue your own exploration of ancient art to uncover those hidden connections and to discover what those echoes of the past might reveal about ourselves and the world we inhabit.
I like it.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the spirit of discovery alive.